And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Monday, February 13th. I am Josh Engleman here to break down an 11-game NBA slate. Not what I was looking for after last night. That's a lot of games. But what else we got to do? Football's done. We're here to talk about basketball now exclusively. Not exclusively, but for me, exclusively. So it's good to have the NBA back. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Hope everybody just had fun, enjoyed themselves. I know I did. I am quite tired. This has been a lack of sleep weekend for me. Coffee's going to be incredibly helpful. Really excited to take that sip, that's for sure. We have so much to break down on this show. Like I said, 11 games. We're going to have to work through every team. This is going to pretty easily be one of those long 90-minute shows. So buckle up if you're excited. We're gonna be here for a bit. Appreciate the birthday wishes. Thank you guys. We had some fun yesterday. And now it's just over. Now I'm just tired, dragging butt. But what are you gonna do? That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. We got to do the job. Got to do the work. So, without further ado, I don't really have anything else to say. I don't really have any thoughts on the game last night. Didn't matter. MMA was annoying. Not that anybody's going to care. Was very, 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 very happy with my lineups heading into lock. They graded out quite well, and I had the opposite outcome. Very, very, very disappointing. So I am happy the Chiefs won. I don't actually care in the grand scheme of things. I won't ever think about it. In 3 or 4 months, I'll probably forget who played in the Super Bowl. Didn't watch the beginning of the game either, so there's also that. Anyway, that's all I got, folks. Let's talk basketball so that I can actually wake up, because talking football is going to put me to sleep. Yeah, that Islam fight was really, really good. I'd be very interested to see what that fight would look like if you couldn't hear the crowd. I thought the Australian crowd was big time. But it probably overrated Volk like a hair and underrated Islam, but neither here nor there. I mean, I'm happy that the Eagles lost, but S&P. I just couldn't care less about the outcome of football games. That's really all there is. So let's talk some basketball. Let me move my windows around here. It's coffee time. This is going to help tremendously. I got 5 hours of sleep at best. Alarm at 5 went off. That was not ideal. I had gone to bed sometime right around that midnight to quarter after time span. Wasn't great. So this coffee that I have here is going to help me out a lot. I hope you guys have something to join me with. But if you don't, drink some water. It's the day after the Super Bowl. You're probably going to need it. Cheers, guys. Rise and grind. You know what we got to do. Let's get it done. The PI call, Stephen Leibowitz. It is simultaneously the correct call and just ugly. You don't want to see it, but at the same time, I don't think they're incorrect. It's just like not fun. Alrighty. First game up, the Atlanta Hawks, 5.5-point favorites. In Charlotte, 240.5 total for Atlanta. We've got a probable tag on Trae Young, a Q tag on John Collins, a Q tag on Bogdan Bogdanovic, and a Q tag on Sadiq Bey, brand new Atlanta Hawk. So we need to gut this entire rotation and then think this one through. So I'm going to go 35 to Trae Young, 36 to DeJounte Murray. We're going to go 32 to DeAndre Hunter. We're going to get John Collins in for 30. We'll get Clint Capella in for 28, which lets Okongwu get 20. We know that Bogdanovich needs to go in for 27 or something in that neighborhood. And then this is where we need to try to figure out how many minutes do we think would have been or will go, I guess, to Saddiq Bey. Ashton, do you mean like permanently? Because, I mean, he's staying in Atlanta for the rest of this season. That's a guarantee. All right, Saddiq Bey, 22 minutes, something like that. And then there's one final rotation piece. It's not going to have to be for a ball handler. That's going to just be whatever, Murray and whatever else we need. So it's probably AJ Griffin and then not Jalen Johnson. So a very minimal amount of playing time going to AJ Griffin. And there's your 9-man Atlanta Hawks rotation. Ashton, so what you saw was that trade potentially had to get that was a 4-team trade, and the Warriors found something in Gary Payton's medicals. So they were going to have it was up in the air that they were going to have to reverse that trade, which would have had Saddiq Bey not staying in Atlanta. The trade went through. So for Atlanta, we've got everybody in. I have everybody projected as I would like to. Rates for Atlanta, not something that change all that often. So I think we're actually good for the Hawks. We're going to move it over to the Charlotte Hornets now. For the Hornets, still no Kelly Oubre, no Cody Martin. Svi Mykhailiuk off the injury report. I don't know if Svi Mykhailiuk is going to play for this Charlotte team. Now, Charlotte did play on... We have seen this Charlotte team play post-deadline. I have not updated their projection since whatever I expected it to be Friday. So I am going to delete their rotation and re-project it. Got to get comfortable here and then take another sip of coffee. Got to get the coffee in the bloodstream as fast as I can. Okay, so we'll start right out of the gate. LaMelo Ball in for 37 minutes. We'll get Terry Rozier right out of the gate in for 35. I'm going to get PJ Washington. Actually, we'll go to the center spot. So in the Friday game, Nick Richards and Mark Williams split 48 minutes. You got 31 out of Mark Williams, basically. Gotta love it. And then on Saturday, you got, again, 48 minutes of these guys. They kind of played alongside each other, but that could have just been like for a rebound. What I do want to look at, though, is the starters from Saturday. Just because of the minutes, they didn't flip-flop these dudes, did they? No. Okay, so they went to Mark Williams. Mark Williams picked up 2 fouls in his first rotation, a third in the second quarter. So they just went to more Nick Richards. But they did close with Mark Williams. So I think we got to go 28-20, Mark Williams, Nick Richards. And then we can get PJ Washington in for his 35. That seems safe-ish. DSJ, just playing like 23 minutes a night, something like that. Yeah, I'm going to go... I honestly kind of want to go 24, but I'm going to go 22. Yeah, not great, SMP. Not great for the Blazers. Weird deadline for them anyway. Okay, so Gordon Hayward, now that the minutes have ramped up, I mean, I think he's probably 32, 34, somewhere in that range. No more Jalen McDaniels, obviously. So we got to get Bryce McGowan and JT Thor splitting the final 31 minutes. Thor is going to get 13 here. And then I'll probably go 18 to McGowan's. I actually think we're okay with rates. So I'm going to leave that as well. So that's going to be game number 1 in the books. And as we look at it, Mark Williams is still exceptionally incorrectly priced on DraftKings at just 4K. He's as close to a lock button as you're going to get on DraftKings. He's going to be unequivocally one of the most popular plays today, if not the most popular play. I don't know what else we're going to see, but no one else is going to look better than Mark Williams. They can only just look as good, and that's incredible. If you want to play Ball, Washington, Rozier, Hayward, by all means, they're all completely reasonable plays. But Nick Richards on DraftKings is fully broken. For Atlanta, if you want to go to Capella, it's fine. Any one of the starters is okay. Like Murray and Young are both appropriately priced. There are no priorities from the Atlanta side. Easy game. Charlotte side looks a little bit better. The Juice Box hit me with the super chat, so I appreciate that. Let's pop that up on the screen. Just said, appreciate your hard work. I appreciate your super chat. Thank you for being here. So then we'll go now. This is just a brutal matchup. San Antonio Spurs, 14.5-point dogs in Cleveland, 224 total. Now, for San Antonio, no Trey Jones. Keldon Johnson's in. Sohan is in. No Vassell, no Romeo Langford. Doug McDermott's questionable. Charles Bassey is questionable. So we got to just do a brand new Spurs rotation from the jump. Jody, that is awesome. I'm very, very, very happy that she is home, and I assume at the very least on the mend for whatever was wrong. So, give her my best again. Best wishes to you as well. That's really good to hear. All right, let's look up this stupid Spurs team. These guys are really going to be just an unappealing team to try to track for the rest of this season because they have nothing good going on. I wonder, let's see. So they last played on Saturday. They played Atlanta. Sohan, Keldon Johnson. Okay, so that was a Trey Jones game. Malachi Branham continued to start. Do they start Blake Wesley or Devontae Graham? Wesley got nothing but blowout run. I think they're going to start Devontae Graham over Blake Wesley, right? That seems like the more likely scenario. So let's go 28 minutes to Devontae Graham, 20 to Blake Wesley. We're going to go 28 minutes to Malachi Branham. We're going to go, 26 to Zach Collins? 27 to Zach Collins? This team is not a fun team to project. Let's get the starters in out of the gate. We'll get Sohan in. I'm going to say 20. Was he limited? Didn't play the fourth quarter. It was a blowout. Looks like he was going to play about 28 minutes. And then we'll get Keldon in. It's really hard to want to project this team for like big minutes. Okay, so we still need a few more guys in this rotation. Dominic Barlow was the first guy to come off the bench on Saturday. Don't know if that's going to be the case again. I think that we want to assume Charles Bassey is the backup center. He did not play at all yet, But assuming he's available, I think it's going to be Bassey. He is questionable for today. So I'm going to project Bassey in at least for some chunk of the center time. So maybe like 18 minutes to Bassey. Who else do we need to get into this rotation? Now they cut Stanley Johnson, I believe. So that game is over. I guess we need McBuckets is questionable, but that dude just plays like 20 minutes a game, so that's perfect. Let's get him his 20. We still need 2 more dudes playing a decent chunk of time. Josh Richardson no longer on the team. I guess we're going to get Keita Bates-Diop playing about 20 minutes. And then that leaves me 19 for somebody else. Roby, Barlow. They're really leaning into centers. Sohan power forward, Collins center, Barlow power forward, Birch center, Bassey center, Roby power forward, Gorgeous Dong center. I don't want to say that it's just Roby in this one because it doesn't seem like they need that positionality. They really just don't have guards. They really just don't have guards. Guess I'm going to split the 19 between Barlow and Roby. Unfortunately, we got to grab rates for this stupid San Antonio team. Like, everything just depends on the Q tags. And I also don't care about most of these guys. So we're going to say Trey Jones off. I'm going to take Jay Rich off as well. If I take Jakob Poeltl off too, is that going to be too aggressive? I got to take Vassell. Poeltl probably doesn't matter for this equation. Let's say greater than 2. There we go. All right, Zach Collins needs like a 20.5% usage rate. That's easy enough. Keldon Johnson needs about 29. I hope Keldon Johnson does not end up looking good. I would rather just think that this team is totally garbage and needs absolutely no updates whatsoever. Let's just assume Devontae Graham is himself. I think we're good here for San Antonio, which leads us to Cleveland. Now, Cleveland might actually look good here today for the first time in a while. San Antonio up against Cleveland, though, should look awful. For the Cavs, no Danny Green, but I assume he is imminent. Got to get him added as well, but I'll do that when it actually matters. So for Cleveland, this should be pretty simple. They don't really tend to mess around. They had a very low-scoring, ugly game with the Bulls over the weekend. So we got 34 minutes for Garland, 34 minutes for Donovan Mitchell, 33 minutes for Jared Allen, 33 minutes for Evan Mobley. All that looks fine. LeVert's playing, 27, something like that. Isaac Okoro's playing 26. That looks fine. Rubio, Wade, Chetty, and we're set. Like, they don't do anything different. I don't have a single thing that I would want to change here for this team. I guess I could bump up the minutes on like Mobley and other guys, but I feel pretty good where I'm at, especially in this matchup. S&P, we're on the same page. There's no future in San Antonio right now. That cupboard's bare. All right, so for Cleveland, I think Jared Allen's fine for 6,800. I don't really like 7,400 seems like the not correct price for Mobley in this matchup. Garland and Mitchell are both totally fine. I don't see much separation between the two. You pay a little bit more for Mitchell. He's a slightly better per minute guy, but you also are buying shooting guard eligibility as well. So just not a lot to like here for Cleveland. Not a lot to like here for San Antonio. However, Devontae Graham is interesting. We need to have a conversation about him. 3,500 point guard, shooting guard. He's like a 0.8, 0.85 guy. If he starts, I think he looks interesting. If he comes off the bench, probably not. I think Zach Collins is probably fine. But again, no priority. At this point, the only thing that we've seen that you want to go out of your way to get is for sure Mark Williams. Mark Williams. And then if Devontae Graham is starting, that price tag works. 5 minutes for Neto. Okay. Let's turn Neto into Rubio and then bump those minutes. That won't actually make a difference for anything. We're not going to be playing Ricky Rubio either, so 2 games down. All right, Utah Jazz 1-point dogs in Indy 237 total. I got a sneaky suspicion some of this could look good, depending on how they've stabilized the prices. So for Utah, everybody that's normally available is available. I assume we're not going to be getting any Russell Westbrook today. Okay, so we have had two Utah games since the deadline, so I am going to reproject their rotation as well. And we're going to get about 32 minutes out of Colin Sexton. That seems fine. We're going to get Jordan Clarkson out there for 33. Seems about right. Now that all of these other guys are gone. Walker Kessler starting at center. Playing bigger minutes now. And that feels like a 29. Goka Azubuike wasn't the only guy to play center, I guess. But they got pretty close. Utah's game on Saturday was competitive. Azubuike was the straight backup center in the first half. Played a little bit in the second half. And then they went to Kelly Olynyk. Right? Azubuike came out here. Now, where's the overlap? Kessler to Azubuike here. It's not the first half. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is. I was looking at Rudy Gay. So Azubuike came out in the third quarter. Olynyk checked in directly. They played like 4 minutes with Olynyk at center. So that works. That's also important for Kelly Olynyk. But what it means is we probably want to go to like 15 minutes on Azubuike, 4 minutes at the 5 for Olynyk. We'll get Olynyk up to, 29 minutes. That feels safest. Rudy Gay seems pretty set in like 14 minutes a night. I'm going to assume the rest of that means Markkanen. I don't have any other bigs playing, right? No. So Markkanen goes in for 34. Now we need Akbaji, THT, and probably Fontecchio closing out these final 54 minutes. THT actually closed over Olynyk. Did Olynyk foul out? 2? None? 3? None? 4, 5? Picked up his 5th, never came back out. Okay, that's fine. I think we're going to get like 25 minutes out of THT. Something like that. Akbaji seems to be playing about 19 a game. That leaves me 10 for Fontecchio. Yep, perfect. Rates, don't need to change those. I'm very happy with where they are. They got pulled on Friday. So then we go to Indiana. Why did Utah trade Vanderbilt? He's young, cheap, and under contract for next year, too. They don't need salary savings, and Jared Vanderbilt is behind other guys on the team at this point. Yeah, S&P. I wouldn't be surprised if Clarkson played a little bit more. Just can't project it yet. Let's go to the Indiana side of this one now. For the Pacers, Q-Tag on Halliburton, Q-Tag Miles Turner, George Hill, Nwora, and Daniel Tice all available. I assume we're basically keeping the same rotation, but I don't know if George Hill or Jordan Nwora are going to get playing time for the Pacers. It seems like they're not. You're not going to play George Hill over TJ McConnell at this point. You're not going to play... I mean, I guess you could play Jordan Nwora over someone like Chris Duarte if you wanted to, but that seems implausible as well. So I think this is mostly going to be normal Indiana. 34 for Halliburton, 30 for Nembhard. Okay, Nembhard's minutes need to come down. We'll go to 28. We'll go to 27. McConnell needs more, just straight away. Mathurin at 28 is fine. 34 for Heald can come down to 33. Duarte in for 20. Nesmith in for 29. That all seems fine. I'll take that one extra minute, hide it on O'Shea Brissett. No rate changes for Indiana either. I mean, we know what that team's doing. So it's a great environment here. I don't know what it's going to... Yeah, nobody just immediately pulling away on the Pacers. Any of the starters just sort of look generically good. You're probably going to you want Halliburton the most. I think Benedict Mathurin might be the most interesting guy just because 4,600 shooting guard, small forward. Then from Indiana, we go to Utah. All right, now Utah's got some real stuff going on. $5,600 Walker Kessler is too cheap. This is a great spot against Indiana. We've got Utah as the 13th fastest team. Indiana is 9th, so it is a pace-up matchup just in general. Kessler looks good at 5,600. We know we're going to get a lot of center options. I think Colin Sexton for 5,200 is still a really good price tag. Point guard, shooting guard eligible. Just shy of a fantasy point per minute. I think Talen Horton-Tucker is actually pretty interesting at shooting guard, small forward, 3,900. If this guy is a part of the rotation with a non-zero chance to close, 3,900 is a very interesting price tag. I'll be interested to break that down with Adam. Utah's sort of the best team that we've seen so far. Clarkson and Markkanen are both okay options, but I think you're going more to Sexton, Kessler, and THT. With, if you want to go to someone like Kelly Olynyk, by all means. 3 down. Oh, my God. Another 14-point spread. The Houston Texans are 2-touchdown underdogs to the Philadelphia Eagles. 226 total, so the total is also awful. We should assume Joel Embiid is going to look really good here if he's playing. And he's got that normal Q tag. I think we're going to really like Embiid here. Houston is back to normal. Who did Houston start on Friday? Because I didn't know what their rotation was going to look like. Or who was going to start at point guard. They lost to Miami. They didn't start Knicks. They started Jayshawn Tate for the first time. Or at least close to the first time. Still only played 24 minutes, which feels hard to do. Wasn't fouls either. But it does mean that Daishin Nix doesn't need real minutes. So we're going to take him down to 14. And we're going to move some of these minutes around. Ty Washington came off the bench, played increased run. We'll get him up to 18. Maybe he is the new Harrison Matthews to a degree. We're also going to take Josh Christopher's minutes down to 16. We'll maintain 33 for Şengün, 15 for Garuba, 31 for Jabari Smith, your standard 19 for Eason, 32 for Kmart, That actually feels like it might need to be 33 at this point. Jayshawn Tate, I mean, if he's going to start, you kind of have to assume he plays more than the 24.5 minutes he played. So I take him up to 25, leaves me 2 extras. We could toss those on to, I don't know, Frank Kaminsky. That's going to be Houston. No real changes to make here. Same rotation we've had as of late. So we go to the Philly side, which I also think is going to end up looking pretty normal. It's just Embiid's Q tag. Shake Milton's around. Maxi's been around that 29-minute mark. We get... Now, Melton, after 2 straight games in the high 30s, comes back down into a much lower rung. Did he not start? There's no way he got those minutes if he started. Saturday. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I have not saved. Oh, I don't think I've saved any of this. Come on, recovery save. Come on, recovery save. Whew. Well, now, that was close. That was close. Oh. Right back to Philly. Dodge that bullet. Let's take a deep breath. Whew. Okay, back to Philly. Let's look up Melton from Saturday. That was, I didn't need that in my life. Okay, so Melton started and just like barely played. All right. What about Friday? Friday, Melton started, played kind of normal, and then just didn't close. Foul, no fouls, 2 fouls, never played the 4th. All right, so I guess we're going back down to like 24 minutes on Melton. 34 to Embiid, Tucker, Niang. Oh, yeah, they've got Jalen McDaniels now. Totally forgot about that. So where do those minutes need to come from? Niang in for 20. Tucker's good here. Where do these minutes come from? This is... Because I can't go lower than 24 on Melton if he's starting. I mean, we'll bring Tobias Harris down a little bit. We'll bring Shake down a little bit. That gets me to 11 for McDaniels. I can't go lower than 36 on Harden. Niang seems pretty set in 20. So I think that's just going to have to be where we go. Not that I think it's going to matter or anything, but as we look at Philly, yeah, 11-4 for Embiid is going to look like a pretty nice pay-up option here against Houston, as it should. $5,200 Harris is all right. I don't mind it. If you want to roll the dice on Maxey at 5,200, I think there's a little bit of upside. Nothing too crazy here for Philly. And then Houston is essentially uninteresting. Şengün, okay. Roll the dice on Tate if he's starting. No priorities. We're up to 705. It's 150 people in here. So shout out to everybody that's in the house for right now. Up to 42 likes. Not nearly enough. We should be up around 75 if we can. So if you're here and you haven't hit the like button yet, please do so. Shout out to BetMGM too, by the way. Sponsors of this show. We'll talk about them in a bit, but get behind the paywall for a month, guys. Free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum if you sign up at BetMGM using the link in the description of this video. Going to Denver now. Ooh, Denver 1.5 point dogs in Miami, 223 total. Barring injury, there's a decent chance that nothing looks good in this one. We've got the Denver Nuggets, who are 17th in pace. Miami's 27th. This is just, I assume, a wildly uninteresting game. Now, Denver did sign Reggie Jackson, or are supposed to be signing Reggie Jackson. I'm going to assume that he's not available yet because this is more of a buyout thing. But we do need to be ready for him to at least be like the backup point guard. He's not listed on the injury report in any way. Has he signed the deal? That's the question. Spot track Reggie Jackson. Okay, so Reggie Jackson also has not signed with Denver yet. Good to know. So what do we know for Denver? Q tag on Murray, Q tag on Gordon, no Zeke Najee. So this actually should be pretty easy to handle. We do need to project Murray back in again because he's been out for the past 4 games. Now, it is possible that Jamal Murray does not play today or in whatever game they play on Wednesday or Thursday. I assume they play Wednesday or Thursday. And then they just want to hold him out until after the All-Star break. So be aware that that could pop up. Otherwise, for right now, I'm going to say that he's playing his normal 34 minutes. We're going to say that KCP goes in for his normal 31. MPJ comes in for his 30. Aaron Gordon goes in for his 31. And then Jokic gets his 34. All right. Backup center, I guess, is going to be DeAndre Jordan or Thomas Bryant. It's got to be Thomas Bryant now. I'm just giving Thomas Bryant those minutes. Straight backup. It wouldn't make sense otherwise. We're going to give Jeff Green the backup minutes at the 4. Bruce Brown will cover backup guard spots. And then Christian Brown will also get around 24. Or not. Do we think Chanchar is going to keep playing if everybody's in? I would guess no. But at the same time, I don't want to go too crazy on Christian Brown. So let's go 10-man. 13 to Brown. 12 to Chanchar. Unfortunately for us, I have to quickly pull rates, at least usage rates, for Denver because of Jokic and Murray. Since Murray can potentially play today, we need the full strength rotation. So KCP, Aaron Gordon, Jokic, Murray, MPJ starting. Yeah, S&P, you and me both. I really didn't understand the Bruce Brown stuff. I know I've talked about it, but just didn't make any sense. They had the opportunity to go out there and get a 3-and-D wing, I think, pretty easily, and they just didn't. All right, Aaron Gordon, 19.5. Bruce Brown, 17. Murray's at 26 and change. KCP is at 13.5. MPJ. 1. Jokic, 25.5. Pretty much guarantee I'm not going to get Nikola Jokic tonight. But that dude does get some assists. Can't lie there. All right, we're good on everything else. Then we go to Miami. Now, unless Miami's still walking wounded with 8 dudes, I don't think we're going to be looking at the Heat all that frequently today. Good God, every time I look at their team, they're like a kaleidoscope. Kyle Lowry is out and out for a while. Tyler Hero is questionable. That has a giant trickle down. Bam's in, Vincent in, Oladipo out, Strus in, Highsmith in. So this is really just the same rotation, huh? They got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys basically. So they did on Friday and Saturday. They played Bouye a little bit. So they did go to the 9-man rotation. My only question is, did they play him for real? So they beat Houston by 2 on the 10th. And Bouye played like a normal person. I'm going to give his minutes to someone random for sure, because I'm not adding him right now. This is not a guy that's going to play here for a while. And then on the 11th, we have 2-point loss to Orlando. Same situation. He kind of played. They did go to OT, so I'll keep that in mind. Everybody but Caleb Martin played the OT. Strus closed. Okay. So 35 minutes for Gabe Vincent. Yes. That's just what we're doing. 37 for Tyler Hero. Yes. Assuming he is in, he's playing 37 at a minimum. Orlando Robinson will have the backup run behind Bam. No doubt about that. Caleb Martin at 34. Definitely can't go that high. So we're going to bring him down to 30. We're going to bring Haywood Highsmith down to 20. Butler can stay in at 33. Strus closed that OT, so he was going to play he played 34 in regulation and 34 on Friday. We're going to take him back up to, I'm going to take him to 30. I don't see a reason why we wouldn't. And then that lets me do like 7 minutes to what is Jamal Cain for today, what should be Bouye, but I don't care. Oh my God, this coffee is helping tremendously. I should have just got meth for today to really get through the day. It would have been helpful. So that's that game, Denver, Miami. So as we look at Miami, if Tyler Hero is in, he's shooting guard only, 7,400. He's the best option for Miami. You can pay up for Bam. It's probably not all that interesting. Max Strus as a value option, 3,800. Shooting guard small forward is just going to be interesting value. We'll probably get a lot of guys that look like him, but if he's going to play that many minutes, I like the idea of it all. Butler's fine. Vincent's fine. But Hero is the main piece. On the opposite end for Denver, nothing. They could not look worse. That is the unequivocal worst team we've looked at. Bad, bad, bad. Bad, bad, bad. 5 games down. 165 people in the house. Brooklyn Nets up next. Battle of New York. Nets are going to be 2-point dogs. 223 total. I got a sneaky suspicion we're not going to like this one either. Rarely like Knicks games. Not all that frequent. Okay, I'm just going to redo this entire Brooklyn rotation because I don't really know what's going on with the Brooklyn Nets right now. No Seth Curry, adductor tightness. Everybody else that's on this team is available. I really like this Brooklyn team right now. I'm very curious to see what they do in the summer. What did they do over the weekend? Saturday, they lost to Philly by 3. That's a shame. Oh, they blew the lead too. All right, but that lets us figure out the rotation. So they went Dinwiddie, Bridges, Smith, Johnson, Claxton. Man, I like that lineup. How did it do? Final games. That was the 11th, right? 11th, Brooklyn, Philly. Lineup game stats. Full game. So that's the Philly side. Just to show you guys what I'm looking at. So Finney-Smith, Bridges, Claxton, Cam Johnson, Dinwiddie. That was the starting lineup. They played 23 minutes together. That's a pretty decent chunk of time. 42 possessions. They were plus 11 as a starting unit. I mean, you get really nice floor spacing there. You get Dinwiddie as the creator. If they could just upgrade Dinwiddie, like, oh man, if Fred VanVleet was just not trending downward, this team's like, they've got the right pieces. You know what's really sad? The guy that they need, if they could do it, would be to sign Kyrie Irving. Because I think he would run this team really well. I'm fascinated by Brooklyn. Now let's project this team. Spencer Dinwiddie. Yeah, no one needs Russell Westbrook. That's for sure. All right, Dinwiddie played big minutes Thursday night, less minutes on Saturday. You know, he played standard issue rotation. Feels like, 33 is probably about right for Dinwiddie. You get Clax in for, say, 32. Clax and Simmons Simmons is just not really a part of this any longer, which is something special to see. So, Clax, Simmons, Day'Ron, Sharp. Did they split it all? They split it all. Sharp actually did get a tiny 2-minute rotation. Did Claxton pick up 2 there? No, just 1. Weird. They brought in Sharp for essentially nothing. Somehow Day'Ron Sharp was the first guy off the bench. I mean, maybe you just want to buy an extra minute or 2 against Simmons or against Embiid. I don't know. I'm going to give Simmons the backup center run. 16 minutes. Enjoy it, brother. Have fun. We're going to get Royce O'Neal. Oh, no. Royce O'Neal is off the bench now, too. This is just the pseudo Suns. So the 2, I guess, is Bridges. We go Bridges in for 34. We go Dorian Finney-Smith in for 34. We go Cam Johnson in for a 28 standard-ish rotation. Came in a little late because they gave Watanabe 2 minutes. I'll go 29 to Cam Johnson. Royce O'Neal played 17. Joe Harris played like a normal backup. Patty Mills played like a very normal backup. Cam Thomas was a backup. Seems like this rotation is mostly easy. So maybe we give... Yeah, because if Seth Curry is still out, then we're going to give Patty Mills backup point guard run. Cam Johnson gets like 14 minutes at a minimum. Joe Harris gets like 14 minutes at a minimum. And then Royce O'Neal gets like 14 minutes at a minimum. That leaves me 5 more. I don't know, 15, 15, 15. I'll take Patty Mills down a little bit further so that I can bump up Cam Thomas to 18. Spending way too much time on these stupid backups for the Nets. Now, rates I actually do think I can leave in. I feel okay with it. Did Dinwiddie... Yeah, I think I'm okay with it. So that's Brooklyn. They're not going to look good. I spent way too much time looking at Brooklyn. It's already 7:20. We're halfway through. This is just a long one, folks. 172 people. We're building up a nice group. We go to the Knicks. We got Josh Hart for the Knicks now. They played on Saturday. The Knicks beat the Jazz. Josh Hart came off the bench, as I said he would. People got to learn to listen to me. They love Quentin Grimes, guys. Love him. Didn't close, though. Josh Hart closed. Jericho Sims sat. Hartenstein closed. I think that is a realistic scenario. Give me 1 second. Gotta let the dog into the bedroom. And I'm back. Alrighty. So we need to think about minutes now for the Knicks in a slightly different fashion. We can start at center. Sims and Hartenstein, we kind of know what we need to do here. I'm going 23-25. You can make a case for like 22-26, I think, as well. Which I think I might... that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to get Randall in for 37. Toppin for 11. These pieces are easy to do. Now, we have 144 minutes to split between Brunson, Barrett, Grimes, Quickly, Josh Hart. 5 guys get 144 minutes. The only saving grace for the Knicks is that they do run very simple rotations. So straight away, Jalen Brunson's going in for 38. He's played 39 minutes, 38-4, 39-1, 39-1, 39, and 39 in his last 4 games. Easy. He's getting 38. Now, we need to get Grimes in next for... I don't think he's always a lock to not close. But let's pop in 24 for right now and we see where we end up. Barrett played with the second unit and played the entire fourth quarter, got to 34. Could have easily played a little bit more in the second quarter. I think 34 works for Barrett, maybe 33. Now that leaves me 49 for Quickly and Hart. Now, Quickly's minutes seem like they're the easiest to try to do. I think we're going to say like 24 minutes for Emmanuel Quickly. That leaves me 25 for Josh Hart. I think that's about as close as we can get. Because I don't think Josh Hart has to close all the time. That's what got him to 25. So I think leaving him on 25 is the right move. There's a lot of wiggle room here now. There's a lot of wiggle room. Rates don't have to change for the Knicks. So as we look at it, Brunson, Randall, Barrett, to me, are the only guys that you can get to. Brunson doesn't make me nervous, but 8,800 is a lot of a price tag. 10-1 for Randall. Again, you're not worried about his playing time. Barrett, to me, is the only one where, like, there's a lot of downside. They don't need RJ Barrett out there anymore. That can just be Hart or Quickly or Grimes. Like, they have options now. Nothing major, though, here for the Knicks. For Brooklyn, they might be even worse. 7,200 for Claxton's fine. Only other guy I'd be interested in would be Cam Johnson. We have 5 more games to go. We're already in for an hour. 887 people. We're climbing. We'll be up over 220, 230 by the time we end this one. The Orlando Magic are 5-point dogs in Chicago, 226 total. This is the revenge narrative Wendell Carter Jr. deal. Terrence Ross is going to be bought out. He's signing with the Suns. Patrick Beverley has been waived. We don't know where he's going yet. That has nothing to do with this. So this is just standard Orlando. I'm going to take Terrence Ross off the team. Might as well just pop him on the Phoenix. Deal with that later. Actually, we'll deal with that when it matters. So we get Ross out of there. We get 31 minutes here for Markelle Fultz. Wait, somebody sat that last time out? Gary Harris. Yeah, I got to redo this rotation. 29 for Wendell Carter Jr. Mo Wagner as the backup. That went to OT. Yep. 29-19 works for me. Yeah, that'll work. Then we get Paolo in for 33. Franz in for 33. Fultz in for 31. And Gary Harris in for 26. It's all pretty easy. We get Cole Anthony in for 21. We get Jalen Suggs in for 24. And then we're basically done here. Bol needs a chunk of time. I'm missing somebody? John Isaac gets, I don't know, 9 minutes. Who cares? It's John Isaac. Orlando's easy to project. And I assume Chicago is as well. They are. Q tag on Caruso, no Javonte Green. Everybody else that's normally in is in. We've seen these Q tags on Caruso a lot lately. I can't type. Let's also click save on this book. That way we don't accidentally have it crash again. The chances of making changes here are very slim right now. I don't really see anything else that I want to do here. We've got the big minutes going to DeMar, Levine, Vooch. Giving Vooch one more. Brings Drummond down a notch. I guess I could give Caruso 2 more minutes in lieu of Dragic. 20 to Kobe White seems fine. Probably a little light, honestly. I got nothing else I would change here. So for Chicago, you guys know the drill here for the Bulls at this point. It's DeRozan, Vooch, Levine, and Patrick Williams. Levine up to 8,400 now is really taking a lot of bloom off of that rose. I think DeRozan 8,300 small forward, power forward is the best option from the Bulls. But again, like, no major priorities. And then for Orlando, a team that I forgot was Bulls' opponent, even though I just said it 5 minutes ago, nothing at all. Nobody for Orlando looks good. This has not been a slate with a ton of very obvious value, that's for sure. 4 games left. Pelicans, 2.5-point dogs in OKC, 236 total. Bad news for the Pelicans over the weekend. Zion Williamson suffered a setback. He is going to be out for multiple weeks. Just really, really not ideal. There was a stretch there for the Pels where they were looking great. Now it's looking like the Pelicans pick swap isn't going to be as valuable as it was looking. Still need the Lakers to just tumble. But Pels are in danger of falling into the lottery themselves now, which in a weird way actually does benefit them because it would increase their odds of Wembanyama. Because they would essentially rent the Lakers pool balls as well. So let's handle the Pelicans. CJ's questionable with a right ankle sprain. Jay Rich is available and does not appear to have played yet. So we do need to work him into the rotation. Guessing we're going to get no Kira Lewis now moving forward. We get Joe Val and Larry Nance in that 24-24 split. Basically. Every once in a while, they play like a minute alongside of each other, but it's very rare. 31 for Trey Murphy. Yeah. Najee Marshall seems like a guy that could be losing a little bit of playing time. Bring him down to 21. Herb Jones can come down to 33. BI in at 34 seems fine. Alvarado at 19 seems fine. CJ at 35. That would leave me 19 for Jay Rich. Yeah, I think that's perfect. No rate changes for Jay Rich, so this is just the Pels, but they're in trouble. Then we go to OKC. For the Thunder, Dario Saric is available. JRE in the G League, still no Poku. Olivier Sarr signed a two-way, which is something. I assume that Saric is going to get like real run here for this team. I'm going to reproject their rotation just because. But we're going to go 35 to Shea. We'll go 30 to Giddey. We'll go 28 to Lou Dort. 32 to Jalen Williams without the Y. And that's when it starts to get a little squirrely. So, I mean, I think we're going to get at least like real rotations out of Dario Saric. And then similarly, I think we're going to get, like 22 minutes out of Jalen Williams. Kenrich can probably continue to play his like 24 minutes a game. Trey Mann gets backup point guard run at a minimum. Isaiah Joe gets his standard 20. 18 will work in that scenario. Aaron Wiggins gets his 20. OKC done and dusted. Simple. $236 total. This one actually might look decent. Yeah, okay. 10-7. No, actually, I got to grab OKC rates. I know I need to change these. Something I know I didn't do on Friday. And it's going to make Shea look worse. For sure. SGA, Dort, Giddey, and Jalen Williams. Yeah, this is going to make Shea look worse. The good news is nobody else on this team matters in any way. Not on a day like today. 205 people in here, folks. What are the likes at now? 86. All right, yo. We are knocking on the door. If we get up over 100, we're going to have that 50-50 split. You guys are doing a great job without even me prompting you guys. So, SGA, usage rate when everybody's around, 31.5. Lou Dort is at 19 and change. Josh Giddey is at 24.5. And then Jalen Williams is at basically 17. Assist rates. SGA does a little bit less because Giddey's out there and Dort's out there to a degree. Giddey, on the other hand, doing big things with the ball in his hand. Having a much better year than I was expecting him to have. I was down on Giddey. All right, Jalen Williams rebounding is fine. Giddey, these should all be close to fine. Dort, fine. Shea, a little bit of a bump. That's OKC. So yeah, I thought I was going to like Shea quite a bit. I don't any longer. Jalen Williams with a Y is always going to be worth a roll of the dice, but like Mark Williams is going to, it's going to be hard to want to go to Jalen Williams if Mark Williams exists. Jalen Williams without the Y is probably the best option from OKC, but they're sort of just all off the table. Similar-ish story for the Pels. If I'm going anywhere, it's Brandon Ingram for 7,800. Shooting guard only is a farce. But again, not a ton to like from the Pelicans. 3 games left. Minnesota Timberwolves, 7.5-point dogs in Dallas. 231 total. For Minnesota, Q-Tag Anderson, Q-Tag Gobert. I think we're pretty used to that one at this point. That's the exact same thing that exists every single day that these guys play now. Yes, Stephen Leibowitz. Instead of Giddy being down, giddy up. Okay. I don't think I'm going to have wholesale changes here, other than getting an idea of who's actually playing for this team now. So I went to 30 on Mike Conley. What is the reason that he didn't play that on Friday, other than just... Okay, they lost by 21. Conley lost a minute and a half to blowout run, which would have taken him to 27 minutes. I mean, he's just not going to play less than that. We'll go 29 ninth and give that extra minute to Jordan McLaughlin. Oz Reed back up, Prince minutes, Anderson minutes, Jaden McDaniels minutes, Austin Rivers played as a part of the rotation like it's nobody's business. That's 10 dudes. There's just not playing time to go around for these guys right now. There's nowhere to be found. Noel played 24. Like, they all played reduced run. They played random rotations in the fourth. They got the shit kicked out of them in the second half. Kyle Anderson, I guess, played a little bit less. Played 17 minutes. Hasn't really played a ton as of late. I guess I'll bump up Rivers for that. Prince in for 22. Is that just too many minutes? Probably. Take him down to 20. Bumps up Rivers. I mean, I just don't think Minnesota's going to look good. On the other end, we get to Dallas, and we got ridiculous minutes. You got the 36 minutes out of Kyrie, Luka, Josh Green, Reggie Bullock. But now we finally got a way to project the Dallas rotation now that everybody's back. Q-Tag on Tim Hardaway, no Maxey, no Bertans. So, deleted Minnesota's rotation. So 36 minutes for Kyrie. I don't have Luka in because that was for Friday's game, so we're scratching that. 36 minutes for Kyrie. 36 minutes for Luka Doncic. Is that enough? I think it has to be for right now. We got Dwight Powell in for 24. Why is Christian Wood playing less now? Why is JaVale McGee playing at all now? Oh, Dallas, what are you doing? What are you doing, Mavs? All right, Saturday, Luka back. Dallas loses to Sacramento by 5. JaVale is the first guy off the bench with Reggie Bullock. Fantastic. So JaVale really is playing like 12 minutes a night. Christian Wood is going to be out there for very minimal. Man, Jason Kidd really hates that dude. Christian Wood was the last guy off the bench. Oh my God, he's going to stab somebody. Fidel, Prize Picks video will be out sometime before the strategy show. So it's probably something in like the 9 to 9:30 range. All right. I guess we're going to get Josh Green in for, he's just playing like 34, 35 minutes a night, isn't he? There's no way to go any lower than 34. And then the other starter is Hardaway. He's got the Q tag left early. You'll get Reggie Bullock straight into the starting lineup if Hardaway's not around. That will make that will cause no relevance to anything at all. But for now, we still need to give Tim Hardaway Jr. his 33 minutes. That also lets us get Reggie Bullock in for his 33 minutes, 32 minutes, something like that. And then 15 more for, I'm going to go Jaden Hardy. Rates stay the same. I've already knocked down Luka and Kyrie. So that's Dallas, I guess, against OKC. I mean, I like Luka for 12-1, but I also don't have a clue how to project him. I would not go to anything else for Dallas other than Luka. I don't know how to project Luka Doncic right now. I just like, if you're not gonna be playing Christian Wood, why are you not unloading Christian Wood at the deadline? Somebody had to be interested. For OKC, Jalen Williams. Oh, wait, did I? So I looked at OKC first. Oh no, I got to look at Minnesota. I was like, what am I looking at? Why do I already know this information? For Minnesota, Gobert is fine. Edwards down to 9,600 now. Now that he doesn't have that 5K or 5-figure price tag, a little bit more interesting. There's not a lot here. Wizards, Warriors. The Washington Wizards. We have Q-tag on Kyle Kuzma. Otherwise, everybody is available. I have no clue what's going on with Washington right now, so I'm re-projecting them for sure. Kuzma has missed the last 3.5 games. Guess we're going to assume that he is back. We'll start at the point guard spot. Monty Morris and DeLon Wright continue to just be that combination. We'll get Morris in for 27 minutes, DeLon Wright in for 21. They can play two alongside each other. It's not just that he's a bad locker room guy. He's also terrible defensively. I think probably pisses everybody off even more. Daniel Gafford's going in for 28 minutes. Porzingis is going in for 33. And then I think Kyle Kuzma is going in for 34. We'll get Bradley Beal in for 32. We'll get Corey Kispert in for 22. Denny Avdia goes in for 28. Leaves me 13 for Kendrick Nunn. That's easy enough. Boom, done. Rates stay the same because I had Kuzma's rates in already. So that's easy for Washington. Then we go to Golden State. What do we know for the Warriors? Q-tag on Wiggins. Obviously no Steph. Gary Payton has been traded for and will likely not be playing for a very extended amount of time. Anthony Lamb now down with the G League team. So I think this is just going to be what we've been used to seeing as of late for Golden State. 35 for Poole. 35 for Clay. 32 for Wig. Who do I have in this rotation right now that doesn't belong? Oh, yeah, Gary Payton. Got it. Goodbye. 21 for Looney. Yeah. 14 for JaMychal Green. Sure. 33 for Draymond. 24 for Kuminga. No. 21 for Kuminga. 17 for Green. 32 for Wig. 28 for DiVincenzo. 27 for DiVincenzo. Easy stuff. No rate changes here for Golden State. We know what they're doing. Fire up your Jordan Pools. 7,800 on DraftKings. Going to be a priority. Just projects like a completely different person without Steph. And it's not like Washington's good. For the Wizards, Gafford and nobody. If Kuzma's playing, you're not playing anything from the Wizards. All right, 215 people. Final game. We're at 100 likes, so I won't ask again. Appreciate you guys. Close it out. Late night hammer. Los Angeles Lakers. 235 point total. We obviously need an entire rotation. They brought in so many guys since I've projected them. I've got them projected for 79 more minutes than there are in the game. So let's go to the Lakers. Everybody that could be available is Mo Bamba, still out one additional game. We did not get LeBron on Saturday. I think it's realistic that we don't get LeBron today, but who knows? We're clearly projecting him in. We're going to get AD in for 35. I'm getting LeBron in for 36. Russell came in, played 35. Feels about right. I'm going to go 34 just to be safe. Who started on Saturday? Lakers. They beat Golden State. They went with Russell, Schroeder, Hachimura, Brown, AD. Who do they start if LeBron is back? Probably Rui over Troy Brown, right? That's probably what they're going to do. Schroeder comes in. I think 30 minutes makes some sense. We get, I'm going to say Rui playing 28. Malik Beasley came off the bench, second shooter, about 18 minutes. I think we could pop him in for 18. Austin Reeves, first guy off the bench, closed over Troy Brown, which doesn't really matter all that much because I don't think Troy Brown's going to close again. So that means we're probably giving Reeves something in that 18 range as well. Jared Vanderbilt. He back up AD? No. Vanderbilt checked in for Rui, which is actually kind of interesting to think about if LeBron is back. Wenyen Gabriel was the straight backup center, which I guess I'm going to continue with. That'll allow me to play Jared Vanderbilt for, I don't know, some minor amount of playing time. 16 minutes. A 9-man rotation. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they went 10. So I got to get Lonnie Walker 12 minutes. Something like that. That is a rotation. They got two. Not a great feel here. They might cut down to 9 and consolidate. But I also don't. I would not be surprised at all if LeBron James isn't playing today. We do got to grab rates. This is just going to be a really annoying team for projections. So games where LeBron starts, AD starts. We could leave Russ out there as a D'Angelo Russell proxy. So just in games where AD and LeBron both start. All right, so these rates should be pretty quick. AD's at a little over 27. I'm going to leave Russell in as himself. Dennis Schroeder, since he's been playing, is just a non-existent usage person. LeBron is at 31. And then Rui has been at about 15. So I'm going to leave his usage just go as well. Assist rate for LeBron is just normal. I'm going to say Russell stays pretty normal. Schroeder's is fine. So I don't really have any other changes here for the Lakers. So we'll go to the Portland side. For the Blazers, Matisse Thybulle is available. Jeremy Grant is questionable. We have no Nurk, no Winslow. Everybody else should be available. Friday the 10th. These guys didn't play, right? Is Cam Reddish going to start for the Portland Trailblazers? Like, is he going to keep starting? He is, right? What? Turning Josh Hart into Cam Reddish is hilarious. Hilarious. All right, Dame in for 37. Simon's in for 36. Cam Reddish started and then never saw the floor again at the end of the third quarter. He's just staggeringly shitty. It's incredible. Eubanks getting that start. He played 28 minutes. I think saying, ooh, they didn't split. Eubanks 28.5. Watford 16. So I guess they went to Grant or Jabari Walker. When did it happen? Eubanks here. Watford. Straight back up. Straight back up. Eubanks. Watford. Watford. Grant. Simons. Lillard. Little. Sharp. So I guess they kind of went like Grant at the 5. Which is good to know. So we can go 26 to Eubanks. 20 to Watford. 2 to Jeremy Grant. Plus the other 34 that he normally plays. I mean, I guess we're going to go like 22 to Cam Reddish. Don't like that at all. Shaden Sharp comes in for like 23, I guess. And then we've got Nas Little and Jabari Walker. So if I say that Nas Little gets 24 minutes... Oh, we got to think about Thybulle now, too. Jabari Walker's not going to play. There's that. So we're going to get Thybulle and Little. Splitting 40, basically. We'll go 22 and 18. No rate changes. So Portland looks great. Lillard, Simons, Grant, Eubanks. I'm happy to go anywhere there. Obviously, I recommend Anthony Simons all the time. That's not going to change, particularly on FanDuel at 6,200. But just in general, like that Portland starting 4. Don't like Cam Reddish even at 3K, although it, technically has some minutes upside. For the Lakers, if I'm going anywhere, it's AD, and I don't even really think that is appealing. But if LeBron ends up out, then it will be. But for now, folks, we're done here. It is time to run some crunches. This is the best part of the show, for sure. We love running crunches. So let's go ahead and do that now. Before we do, however, we got to talk about BetMGM. They are the sponsor of this show. If you are interested in signing up, there is a link in the description of this video. You can click it and earn 1 free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum, along with up to $1,000 in first bet insurance, as long as you use that promo code Platinum Sub. Now, you got to be 21 or over. You got to be in a legal betting state for sure. So be responsible. If you've got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Accidentally muted myself there. That was fun. All right, crunches. FanDuel. First one up. Don't really have a great feel for what this is going to look like. This one doesn't seem as obvious. Optimals. On FanDuel. 333.54. Optimal lineup by 0.75. Jalen Brunson, LaMelo Ball, Colin Sexton, Talen Horton Tucker, Jeremy Grant, Benedict Mathurin, Bam Adebayo, Lauri Markkanen, and Mark Williams. Not a lot to read into there. We turn on the rando. We start running the crunch. What do we get? Looking like it's going to be Jeremy Grant and my boy Anthony Simons near the top, which shouldn't be a surprise. A matchup against the Lakers is a fantastic pace-up spot against a not great defense. No, SMP, I'm not playing tonight's slate. Just going to take it easy. If I were on one of the shows, I would, but I'm not. All right, Jeremy Grant, Talen Horton Tucker, Simons, Mark Williams, Jordan Poole, Eubanks, Markkanen, Brunson, Sexton, Mathurin, rounding it out. Very uninteresting. Very uninteresting. I know this is the end and I need to run this crunch. Give me 1 second, folks. I will be right back. There we go. We back. We back. Let's run this DraftKings crunch, folks. Because this is the one that actually matters to me. But yeah, so S&P, I saw that tournament. I thought about it when I was just like, oh, that's a decent. But like, on a slate of 11 games, 100 and something thousand entries, like, the guys that are going to end up in that optimal lineup are probably not going to be all that fun. Speaking of optimal lineups, DraftKings optimal. LaMelo Ball, Colin Sexton, Talen Horton Tucker, PJ Washington, Mark Williams, Jordan Poole, Jeremy Grant, Walker Kessler. A lot of that makes sense to me. It's not a fun lineup to get to. 295.45, optimal by 0.02. You can get Luka in over LaMelo Ball. You got to lose Jeremy Grant to do so. Finally, the power rankings on DraftKings for today. Appreciate you guys being here. 4-day week this week. We got today through Thursday, and then Friday starts the All-Star break. We are done for multiple days. Nothing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. The NBA stops on that Friday. They don't come back again until Thursday, the 23rd. I am going on vacation starting Friday morning. I will be not around for any of this stuff. It is going to be finally an opportunity to get away for a little bit. All right. As we knew on DraftKings, Mark Williams is the clear, no doubt about it, gotta be the guy for today. Look at that percentage. 35% to Mark Williams, 19% to Jordan Poole. Anthony Simons up next, surprise, surprise. Taylor Horton-Tucker, Tyler Hero rounded out. Devontae Graham, Tobias Harris, Colin Sexton, Jeremy Grant, and Brandon Ingram are the finals in the top 10. Guys, we are done here. It's been a good one. Prize Picks video coming out shortly. Contenders videos coming out shortly. We had some fun. 3 more days of this one. Hit the like button on your way out the door. Thank you to BetMGM for being the sponsor. I will talk to you guys later. This was The Process.